applaud yourselves for successfully registering, and not just registering, but making it here to the webinar live. You can applaud yourself in the comment section. I'm all here for it. I want to congratulate you heartily because what you have made is a very wise decision that will pay off in the future. All right, so from the title of our program, the emphasis is on the R and our entire. That shows us that nobody is immune to the far-reaching effects of AI. We are all in this together. It is our new reality. And just to further reiterate this, we have a small assignment for you today, just a very small one, okay? I love games, and there's this particular one that I love to play. It's titled 4 Pictures, 1 Word. If my vivacious Vivian could put it up on the screen right about now, we could warm up a bit, warm up the chat section. Oh, great, awesome. So on the screen, we have 4 pictures, all right? And what is the task before us? I would like you to look closely at these 4 pictures and identify as many individual pictures as you can, and also identify what it is they have in common in the comment section. All right. I hope you got that. I hope you got that right. I said identify the 4 pictures, the 4 individual pictures we have on the screen, and also identify what they have in common. That will be our first task for today. So I'll let you get on it while we wait for our other members of the audience to join in. Okay, I'm in the chat section, waiting to see who's going to, okay, focus. Excel says focus, okay, great. Jay says the 4 pictures are AI generated. Interesting. Can you identify any of the characters on the pictures? Okay. Can anyone add all our pictures? Yes, Ngozi, you've got that right. They're all pictures. There are 4 pictures. Olashade says COVID-19. Interesting. Okay. Any more? Any more responses? This is getting pretty interesting. Can you identify anybody at all on this picture? Does anything at all about any of these 4 pictures, does anything about it ring a bell? I have Excel who said focus. I have that the 4 pictures are AI generated. Someone else says that all of them are AI pictures rather, because it says they're AI pictures. Okay, Folashade says COVID-19, because it says the fair lady. I guess the only lady on the screen acts like an artificial intelligence. Okay. If anyone says Jadorita, okay. Abiodun says Jarvis. Interesting. Interesting. I'm liking this. Okay. Any more comments? Okay. There's more. They represent different taking this thing to another level. They represent different AI generations. Interesting. Okay. 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 Chat GPT. Okay. Yeah, someone says Chat GPT. Okay, one of the pictures is Jarvis. Sean Murphy of the Good Doctor series. Okay, please let me just okay, let's now have context. Vivian, can we have the second picture? Exactly. You're still trying to decipher something. Let's have the second picture. All right. Okay. So a couple of us were very well on track. Some of us, yes, very well on track. All right. So if you recognize the first picture, that's the Elder series, and it's from our very own, he's a Nigerian, Malik Afegwa, right? This picture was from a fashion runway that featured elderly models actually catwalking and walking the runway. And it took the entire world by storm. except for one very important fact. It never took place. I'm sure you're trying to understand what I mean. Yes, it never took place. The pictures were actually generated by artificial intelligence, and it got the world talking, you know, as in how real they looked, how realistic they looked, but it never happened. They're all computer generated images. The second one is Jadrolita. If you got Jadrolita, yes, please give yourself a round of applause. Jadrolita has her comedic skits on YouTube, on TikTok, and it has garnered her a lot of publicity. She refers to herself as the human AI. And as of today, she has over 1 million followers on TikTok, and she was able to accomplish all of this as an undergraduate student. I actually thought that the ChatGPT logo would be the most obvious, but clearly not. Jadrolita, you see the power of TikTok. Jadrolita was the more obvious picture here, but yes, to the left is the image icon for the ChatGPT. Okay, and I mean, it doesn't need any introduction, I want to believe, because it has suddenly become the go-to for all professionals. So if you're looking for answers, draft proposals, reports, ideas, whatever, you just ask ChatGPT, and you get an answer. And last but not the least, yes, someone did mention COVID-19. This last picture is representative of the benevolent AI. You're not too far from it. Okay, so this AI has been used in the medical field, right, to shorten in drug development. It has been used to shorten research and development time as well as clinical trial time from years to weeks. In fact, it was used in 2020, right, in development of vaccines, for COVID-19. So if you mention COVID-19, it does have some form of relationship to it. Okay, so of course, from all that I've mentioned, you can see that the common theme across these 4 pictures, the one word we were looking for is AI. If you say artificial intelligence, that's 2 words. We're looking for AI, but of course, AI does stand for artificial intelligence. So you can give yourselves a round of applause on the chat session. You have done marvelously well. I mean, I could go on, but clearly you get my drift. Whether it's a hustle or a leisure activity, or an art or a passion, business, tech, medicine, you name it. AI has pushed boundaries and redefined possibilities. Okay, so yes, we are definitely here for it. So being here is good, but being ready for it is even better. And that's part of the reason I believe you have taken a front seat at this webinar. And once again, on behalf of the hosts, the conveners, the facilitators, and all your other co-audience, I really would love to welcome you to this platform. Please take a minute to celebrate yourself in the comment section. I'm very big on celebrating yourself. Give yourselves a round of applause. So some housekeeping before we get into the business of the day. We would love for all of you to participate in this webinar, truly participate, as in get yourself into it over the next few hours, and that will mean no distractions. Some things that could form distractions would include your mics being unmuted. Okay, the interference could cause disruptions for whoever has the mic at that time. So even though your mics are muted, your fingers are not muted. I mean, feel free. Active fingers are welcome on this platform. Feel free to chat in the comment section or contribute or just ask your questions in the comment sections. Let it come alive. Okay? So feel free to use the chat section. Secondly, the webinar will be broadcast live. No, not live. It will be broadcast at a later date on YouTube. Before the next session on Saturday next week, we will share with you the channel where you can go and relive those moments and also share with your friends, in order to spread the gospel and get them to be here next week to participate. Okay, at the end of the session today, we'll be creating, oh, welcome Philip, welcome Mubong. Okay, we'll be creating memories at the end of the webinar. We'll also have like an introductory session if time permits to get to know ourselves, because we did promise that, yes, we're going to network a bit on this platform. So at the end of the session, we'll get to introduce ourselves and have a virtual photo session. So if you don't mind, you get yourself ready so that when we enable our cameras, we can all say cheese together. All right, so we have two amazing facilitators for you today. One is no stranger to this platform. He was here with us in March. Shout out to everybody who was here for our FYC bootcamp in March. If you were here, please give yourselves a shout out in the comment section. Okay, so this facilitator laid the groundwork for what we'll be doing here over the next 2 Saturdays. We have another loaded facilitator. I mean, he's a guru in his own right, and you will see why in just a few minutes. Just bear with me. Before we go any further, permit me to introduce the one and only indefatigable Coach Wesley. We recognize that this webinar would not have been possible without her relentless passion to challenge the status quo and awaken the inner giants in everybody who comes her way. All right. So Coach Wesley is a senior HR executive, and she's broadly experienced in human resources management, and she has under her belt 25 years of practice in this field. Currently, she's the General Manager, Human Resources and Admin with Mutual Benefits Assurance. Before she joined Mutual, she was the divisional head of the Human Capital Management team of Heritage Bank, and she was also the Group Chief Human Capital Officer for InterSwitch Limited, the famous fintech. She was a General Manager, HR and Admin for Custodian and Allied Insurance, as well as NACO Avians. She was also, in her former life, a Senior Manager, Talent and Development, GlaxoSmithKline PLC, as well as Sterling Bank, and a Human Resources Consultant for PricewaterhouseCoopers. So you name it, whichever industry, whichever sector, you know, her influence has been felt there. So she's a chartered professional in human resources with certifications from Canada, UK, and Nigeria, and is a certified coach with ICF. That's the International Coaching Federation. Of course, all of this will not have gone without some beautiful awards. Okay. Okay, remember our housekeeping rules. Please mute your microphones, or as you join in, ensure your microphones are muted. Okay, so she's also gotten an award, some awards as the HR Leader of the Year and the HR Champion Nigeria, all in 2021. With a resounding virtual applause, please join me in welcoming her as she gives a brief introduction to a subject matter today.
Thank you, Ezeamaka. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are joining us from. You're welcome. Vivian, please take over the admitting of participants. So you are welcome. It's a wonderful day, and we're grateful to God for life. So we're here to talk about AI. We can't escape it. It's already here. And I believe we're already even too late, you know, to start discussing this. It's time for us to remove our fear, you know, and allow curiosity. How can AI help me as a professional, you know? And that is actually where we should be today. How can it support me? How can I add more value? So this webinar, I want to appreciate you for your time. This webinar will explore the transformative power of artificial intelligence. What do I mean by that? Its impact, profound impact on our daily lives, on various industries, and on the future of work. AI is no longer a concept of the future. It is here now, and it is already transforming. It's transforming our healthcare, enhancing diagnostics, treatment plans, patient care, It's transforming finance, automating processes, transforming education, personalized learning, transforming transportation, just, mention it, powering autonomous vehicles, transforming our everyday life. So AI is here and it's real, transforming the way we live our lives. It's making our life more convenient and efficient. And really, as a professional, I'm happy to still be in the world of work. And I believe now things are easier, once you know how to use artificial intelligence. As AI continues to evolve, it's crucial for all of us to adapt and reskill so that we'll remain relevant in the workforce. Because of rapid technological changes, because there's change in job landscape, continuous learning is critical so that we'll be ahead and will continue to provide competitive edge, above our colleagues. Most jobs will significantly be impacted, whether we like it or not. So how ready are we? It is time to replace fear with curiosity, take time to reskill, and have a positive and proactive approach to all this. So what are we supposed to be expecting? 2 impactful Saturdays, today and next Saturday. We have thought leader presentations. Like Eziamaka mentioned, we're going to be networking so that we get to know each other more. Maybe somehow, maybe drop your LinkedIn, whatever, on the chat so that, we can connect with one another, and we'll have experiential sharing. So just get your notebook and biro ready. It's time to learn. And what we're learning, we're taking it back to work immediately on Monday. This is not just theory. This is things we need to learn so that we continue to be relevant. In conclusion, AI is presenting both challenges and opportunities. If we embrace it by reskilling, we'll continue to remain relevant in this dynamic landscape. So don't forget, be present, don't be distracted. That's why it's just for 2 hours. Remove every distraction, participate fully, and have fun. So fasten your seatbelt as we take a proactive approach. Thank you once again for joining us today. We believe that this webinar will be insightful and inspiring. So let's embark on this journey together and harness the potential of AI to reshape our lives for the better. Thank you once again. I hand over back to our moderator, Eziamaka. Thank you, everybody. I wish you wonderful time today and next Saturday. Thank you.
Oh, amazing. Thank you, Coach Wesley. That was a super charge that she just gave us. She said we should ditch fear. And because nature abhors a vacuum, replace the fear you've ditched with curiosity. I mean, be curious about AI. Curiosity will not kill the cat in this case. I've heard that there are a lot of memes going up in the space out there now, where the Gen Zs and the Gen Alphas are rewriting the proverbs that we used to have then. So we used to say curiosity kills the cat. I'm sure a Gen Z will say curiosity will save the cat. So curiosity about AI would definitely save the day. All right. So our first speaker today may or may not need an introduction. If it will depend on if you were part of our FYC bootcamp in March. If you were, my question to you then is, how's your personal AI strategy going? And if you weren't, no problems at all. I'd like you to meet Damilare Fakorede. All right. He's an entrepreneur, an inclusion advocate, and a digital transformation leader who is super passionate about disrupting and reshaping industries with digital technologies and enabling growth, especially in the African continent. For the past decade, he's been at the forefront of steering high-impact digital transformation projects, as well as public-private partnerships across various sectors, and has been able to generate $100 million, not naira, in revenue. I said he was an entrepreneur, right? He's a co-founder at Growth Max Nigeria. Growth Max Africa, a leading digital transformation firm in Africa. He has worked with several corporations and several digital transformation projects across various organizations in Africa. Some of his clients include the Oyo State Government, Codros Capital, Acer Nigeria, Meristem Securities, Origin Zero, and tons of other corporations. He leads the team at Home Advantage Africa, which is a community of African millennials who are working assiduously to accelerate political inclusion for young people across Africa. This is very important. Okay, so he's using the digital space to make sure that young Africans have a voice in determining their future. As an African committed to using technology as a catalyst for driving positive change, Damilare is actively involved in policy and inclusion advocacy to improve the lives of Africans, young and old. Quality of life, I must add. So, with a very, generous, with very generous measure, I'd like you to join me in welcoming Damilare as he takes us through a foundational introduction to the world of artificial intelligence. The next voice you'll be hearing will be his and not mine, even as much as you've gotten accustomed to my voice. It's time for us to get down to business. Dami, are you here?
Oh yes, I'm here. Good
Oh,
afternoon.
great,
I didn't
amazing.
realize I was muted, so
Oh, for a while
good
back there, I thought
afternoon.
that you had stood me up. Thank God you didn't. So I don't react very well to being stood up. You're
I'm not
welcome,
I'm not
Damilare.
I'm not I'm not that big yet. But thank you so much. Thank you so much for the awesome introduction. It means a great deal to be here, and it really, really means a great deal to be here. I need to reiterate that. Um, First off, to begin with, I want to congratulate everyone here. Oh, can you see my video?
Yes, please.
Uh,
Damilare, you are on. Go on.
okay, yeah, I want to turn on my video actually.
Okay, no, we can't see your video yet.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
can
We've
everyone
seen
see my
you.
video?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Well, I can't see myself, so I don't know how I'm looking. Okay, good. I think this is good. Thank you so much. Vivian, you have my slides, right? I think you helped me with that. My assistant
It's
is not
currently being shared.
around today. Okay, great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the warm introduction, and thank you so much, Coach Abike, for for inviting me again. It means I must have done something right the last time, I believe. So thank you so much for the opportunity to speak with your audience again today. Um, Before I begin, I want to say that Coach Abike is doing something that would literally change your lives. You know, something that could literally alter the course of so many people's journeys here. And do you know the most remarkable thing about that? I mean, about that is that she's doing it all for free, right? She's doing it all entirely for free, and that is, I mean, that's a phenomenal thing, if you ask me. Um, how many people are you seeing today that are hosting events on this important subject matter for free, right? Very, very few people. So I believe that she's doing something so remarkable, and that is why I'm always glad to be associated with whatever she's doing. You know, even if I'm on I'm on a trip tomorrow and then Coach Abika is like, Damla, I want you to do this. I will definitely make sure that I make myself available because she's doing something that is benefiting a whole lot of people. Right. We have about 98 people in this room. I mean about 100 people in this room right now. That's a lot of people getting quality value for free. So I want you to I want us to appreciate Coach Abika for a moment and just leave a message in the chat and tell her thank you so much for this because trust me, this is a valuable training and you'll have a great time here. Now having said that, let's get to today's business. Vivian, for a minute, please. How much time do I have? You can just send me a private message here on Zoom so I would know. Yeah, let's give her flowers. Thank you so much, Coach Abike. It's such a great time to do, to do this with you. So please, how much time do I have, Vivian? And let's begin with the slide. So, introduction to AI, right? AI is what the internet was 20 years ago today. AI today, right, is what the internet was 20 years ago. And if we are tech savvy enough, okay, thank you. After 5 minutes, okay, great. And if you're, excuse me, and if you're tech savvy enough, or if you are, if you are a student of history, you know that 20 years ago was perhaps one of the most important time in history that changed the course of humanity forever, right? Because that was when the internet became mainstream, right? That was when the internet became mainstream. And 20 years ago, when the internet began to, take shape, there were so many speculation. Oh, what is this technology? Is it going to, is it going to, is it going to take all our jobs away? Is it going to disrupt our lives? Is it going to affect how we do business, affect our families, affect everything? Like, what is this technology going to do for us? So there was a lot of speculations here and there, myths flying about here and there, a lot of issues, a lot of regulations, a lot of drama, right, on what the internet is today, right? It was such a crazy time. So imagine what it felt like in the early 2000s, right, when the internet was beginning to take shape. That is what it looks like now today with AI, because it's a relatively new technology that is beginning to cause disruptions, that is beginning to cause new regulations, that's beginning to cause, widespread conversation, right? There's a lot of opinions here and there. So to tell you that it is such an important subject, right? Every government in the world now already has or is working on an AI strategy or an AI policy. And for me, if you want to know how important any subject is, I like to say that pay attention to what the government is saying about it, right? Is the government concerned? Are they, talking about regulating this, the space? Are they talking about, creating new policies and laws to adjust things or keep? So if there is widespread interest or there's keen interest actually on the part of the government, right, then you know that there's something important going on here. So AI is that technology now that everyone should understand at the very least. So even if you're not using AI actively as a person, it is your obligation as a human being living in this time to at least understand it, at the very least, without reservation, without without any excuses. You should at least understand AI at the fundamental, at an essential level, right? As a person, you need to be able to do that. And we ought to be able to begin that journey for you on this webinar, like I said. And I don't make promises, but I assure you that today you have a wonderful time and your life will never be the same again. Somebody say amen in the chat. So let's move on. So we have 3 important ideas to talk about today. Thank you, Vivian, for the slides again. 3 important ideas that we're discussing today. Number 1, what is AI? Some people have taught you some people have told you, oh, AI is coming for jobs. Some say, oh, AI is one of the signs of the end times. It's going to bring the acceleration of 666 or whatever it is. You've heard a lot of things about AI. Today, we are going to try to break some of those myths, and we're going to look at what the fact is. Number 2, we're going to look at AI and the future of work, right? How the future of work is going to evolve. Is AI truly going to take away our jobs? Is AI truly going to replace human beings? Is there, and then, finally, I'll get to give you a definitive picture. Is AI truly going to take over? Are we all going to be bowing down to machines in the next 100 years? We are going to have those conversations. So you see that it's not a boring one at all, right? And then lastly, we're going to look at how you can create a personal AI strategy. Although I wouldn't draw much on this because we discussed it in depth last time, but I felt it's worth repeating now. Like we all have a personal AI strategy. So I'm just going to walk you through how to do that very briefly. But we'll discuss the first and second, ideas in more context and in more detail. So let's go. AI, the myths, the facts. Somebody shared me. I mean, because people know I do this very often. Train organizations, train businesses, train people on AI and what to do with it. So people send me all kind of content on my Instagram a lot. So one day somebody sent me the video of a preacher, who said, "Oh, yeah, yes, you hear what they say about AI now, right? That AI can create an entire, person, out of nowhere." He said that is the sign of the Antichrist. And it was so funny because, he was saying it with so much confidence. I show you, don't have anything to do with AI. It is the Antichrist. It has, it was saying all these things. And to be fair, if you were standing from where he stood, if you had his perspective, it might make sense. So, but the truth is that AI is again, like I said, as I compared it to earlier to what the internet was in the early 2000s, same thing we're having now today. Although AI is already here, in fact, it's taking shape faster every day as a technology. But the truth is, it's not yet mature, so we don't even know exactly what it will be yet. But I can tell you for free today, and write this down somewhere: AI is nothing that has to do with the Antichrist. It is a technology. It is a platform that a lot of people, a lot of organizations, and that will shape the world, in ways that will blow our minds, right? So, what is AI? First of all, AI is a simulation of human intelligence in machines programmed to think and learn like humans. So when I often offer this definition to people and businesses that I talk to, I like to emphasize the learn like human part. Right now, we have all kind of automations everywhere here and there. We have people that automate accounting processes, whatever processes. But what makes AI distinctive, or what qualifies any technology to be described as AI, is when that technology is able to learn by itself, like a human. Imagine, I like to also give this example that if you tell your kids about something once, right, they might likely do it again. If you tell your son, say, for example, "Oh, don't watch TV past 10 p.m. every night," he will most likely watch TV 10 p.m. this night when you are sleeping yourself. So if you tell humans, not to repeat a mistake, they are more likely to repeat it more than you imagine, right? But for AI, once you have a definitive data set and instruction, it does not, there's no room for error, right? And then it is able to self-learn. So, someone might ask you, "Oh, I mean, if you're having, chat with people about AI, and then you say something like, 'Oh, AI is when machines are programmed to think like humans,' and then they tell you, 'Oh, I mean, but there are some robots that are not artificial intelligence, right? Right now, there are robots that are not intelligent in the sense that they can't learn.' So you need to be able to ensure that when you're talking about AI, what you need to understand, the most important thing you should perhaps understand is that it is able to learn, like humans. So key concepts: machine learning, neural networks, natural language processing, NLP, and computer vision. You can, just take a minute to Google and read up on this concept after the session, so you can have an idea of what they mean. But basically, you can't talk about AI without talking about machine learning, deep learning, neural networks, and all of these things, because these are the backbones on which AI as a technology is built. Yes. So having said that, AI is often surrounded by a lot of misconceptions, right? And then exaggerated. There's so much exaggeration. There's so much misconception. There's so much misunderstanding. But yeah, and it's because it's a relatively new technology, and today we're going to dispel them. So Vivian, let's go to the first myth, please. So today we are Mythbusters. Mythbusters. How many of us have this cartoon for our kids, Ghostbusters, right? So today we're going to be busting some myths. Okay, the first myth, please, Vivian. So is Vivian on the call? Okay, great, thank you. The first myth. I mean, see, there's probably like 1,000 other myths, right? About AI, but we'll focus on just a few on this session because of our time. Myth one: AI will come for all jobs. All jobs. I mean, how many of us believe that AI is coming for our jobs, right? The truth is that, I mean, people preach this like it's the gospel. Oh, AI is coming for jobs. AI is going to replace you. It's going to replace you. To be fair, some jobs will probably get more. I mean, some jobs would get automated faster, right? Faster than others. But the truth is, AI is not coming for all of our jobs. That is not possible, right? Imagine a world without humans working. How would we survive? Who would make our policies? Who would treat our kids? Who would offer counseling and guidance? Who would be our pastors and spiritual leaders? I mean, who would be our psychologists? Who would be our mothers, our fathers? Like there are lots of things that only humans are capable of doing anyways. But even beyond that, right, AI would certainly not replace all human jobs, right? It's going to be a great tool to assist and enhance our capabilities, right? For example, if it takes you, 10 days to do a job before, with an AI application, you can maybe do it in a day or less, or even in hours, right? So that should show you that AI is going to definitely make our work, better. The output of our work will become significantly better, 10x, 100x better than it was, And then because AI automates easily tasks that are repetitive, tasks that are recurring in nature, right? It's easy to be automated. So that we can focus on the more strategic and complex things. So for example, if you're a lawyer, you don't have to now write every single line of your contract all by yourself, right? You can have an AI model trained on your contracts, templates and strategy, and then you can now focus on the main, important details of the contracts, for example. So, and then if it used to take you like, 5 days, 7 days to write a contract, you can do that in an hour or less with AI. So now AI did not replace you as a human because we're doing it for support. It just made your work easier as a lawyer. Myth number 2, AI is only for tech giants, right? And some will say, oh, AI is just for Meta, Amazon, Google, Microsoft. These are the guys that can do AI because they have big money. That can be farther from the truth, right? The fact is that AI is available to everyone. AI is available to every single person. If you're a small business, if you are a big business, if you're a one-man business, even a family, whatever section of society that you can be, categorized to be in, right? There's an AI for you. I'm actually working on a project called "There's an AI for Everyone," but it's not ready yet. It's a big project, but hopefully we can get to that one of these days. But it's a policy project that's supposed to help people realize that there's huge potential for AI in their life. There's potential that AI can actually help them, do things better. Even everyday tasks, like writing, like listening, like editing and all that, right? So AI is for everyone, even as a small business, right? You can automate some simple tasks, right? You can automate, anything that is repetitive. That is a easily, repeatable task. You can easily automate with AI. So, but trust me, AI is not just for rich businesses and all that stuff. So the third myth is that AI is perfect and unbiased. Well, I bring you good news. AI is not perfect. Just like humans will say, nobody's perfect, right? AI also is not perfect in that sense and unbiased. So, the truth is that and people think, oh, this thing works so well, it's so accurate, but trust me, it has flaws too, because AI is usually trained on data, and as I usually say, without data, there's no AI. So the data you feed the AI platform is what it's going to, is what will determine the output that it gives to you. So if your data is biased, definitely you're getting biased output from the AI. It's just like a garbage in, garbage out system, right? It depends on what you feed it. So AI systems are imperfect, can be imperfect. So now their imperfection, let me say it so that we don't get things, confused. The imperfection in this sense is not an inherent, trait for AI. But I need to mention that, we don't just go and say, AI is imperfect. No, like they are way accurate, 99% of the time. In fact, 99.9% of the time, like AI is usually accurate because of how they process data and the quality of the output. But that does not leave room for error. Okay, there can be, imperfections here and there, but it's not an inherent trait, right? AI is a system built, to get the best output based on data that has been fed to it. So I should note that. So let's go to the next thing. Before we move to the first thing, if you have questions about, before we move to the next session, if you have any question about the first, area we just spoke about, just leave them in the comments, or we'll take them after the class or something. And please, please follow me. It's about to get interesting. So AI and the future of work. Coach Abike mentioned earlier when she was introducing the webinar that, AI is here. And I think everyone should put that in their office walls. AI is here. Because the truth is that everybody, whether we like it or not, right, it's going to shape our work in ways that we can't imagine. And the worst you can do as a person is to not care, right? Don't not care. You have to be aware. Even if you're not going to be a key operator or building AI programs for yourself, you need to be aware of the fundamentals, understand how it works, understand how it's going to affect your life, your family, your jobs, and all that. It is a responsibility to understand how AI works. So, several industries today, right? It's already been, disrupted by AI, right? We have so like initially, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, the idea of content or content marketing was in the domain of experts, the brilliant ones, the wizards, the writers, the creative ones. They're the only ones that can do content as you know it. But today, anybody from any corner of their bedroom can become a content creator by leveraging, as you have seen with ChatGPT and tons of other AI, tools out there. So AI is going to make it easy for us to streamline operations, to make decisions faster, to make better quality decisions faster, and drive innovation. So professionals, and I believe that we are all professionals here, that fail to recognize this, you are at the risk. Those are the ones that are at the risk of being put out of their jobs. Because to be honest with you, people that will most likely lose their jobs are those that are ignorant of what AI is. Because as AI increasingly shapes the world, everything about your job becomes, automated, from the hiring process, from, everything. So imagine if you don't even know that, that an AI is one vetting your resume, so you need to be aware. So AI and future of work. Let's look at some of the things that we'll be discussing. Next slide, please. How is AI transforming industries, right? In so many ways, as Coach Abike mentioned earlier, there's so many disruptions happening that I can't even list all of it here. Right? I just use content as an example. I remember that 3 years ago, we used to pay in our organization, we used to pay our content creators about 300,000 naira. This was in 2022. Yeah, we used to pay our social media team, each person, the least any person on that team earns 300,000 naira, right? And then, and it's because their work is so important. It's still important today, but then, it was tough to generate good ideas and all that. So imagine then, when we were paying people that amount for content, and today, it's an entirely different thing. Now, you would think maybe because of ChatGPT, we sacked our social media guys. No, we did not. In fact, we still have, the best of them on board. Those of them that are able to effectively master how to create better content with AI tools, and their work rate is insane. And guess what? We pay them, several figures over that now, because they've been able to improve their game so much that the content that they create is way better than what they used to create, because AI has made their life easier. Before, for example, they had to wait, several hours, to get inspiration, to deal with writer's block or whatever. But now they can create content, they can create whatever, the client demands on the fly, right? It's easier now to work, thanks to AI. So, and that's just one area. And that's just in content, right? There's a lot of, ways that AI is improving, and transforming industries, like in healthcare, right? For example, there's AI driven, healthcare practices taking shape all over the world, right? Where someone can sit down from China and operate from somebody, and operate on somebody in the US with directing a robot, right? They don't even have to be in the room, because the AI is in the cloud, so you can easily just tell it what to do from wherever you are, and then operate somebody on the table in the US and from Africa across the world, because you have, because we've trained some robotic arms to be able to move with crazy accuracy, with so much accuracy that there's low margin for error. So in everywhere, even in finance, right? There's fraud detection, there's customer service automation through chatbots. There's a lot of opportunities, like even in transportation, right? In some cities.
Larry, please speak louder.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Mark.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, and then in some cities, right? Please let me know if you can hear me clearly, so I can. Yeah, thank you for that. So in some cities, right, there are self-driving vehicles. Like a vehicle will drive you from point A to point B without a driver. Can you even imagine that, right? And then and then there's customer service, right? There's AI chatbots here and there. There's virtual assistants. There's all kind of things. Like even in e-commerce, right? You go on the website and then you check out. Your goods get shipped to you. So there's so much applications, that with AI and how it's transforming the world. You should be researching this. Everyone should be an AI researcher, right? I should mention that. Yeah, the next slide. So, the future of work is that almost every industry will get, impacted by AI. Every industry will get impacted by AI. Every single. So you need to know what this technology is about. You need to be curious about it. You need to be able to know how to use it. You need to be able to know the dangers and the risk it poses, because so as with every technology, right? AI is a technology, so inherently it's not good or bad, right? It depends on who's doing what with it. Right now there are news platforms that use AI to spread misinformation, right? There are news platforms that creates false videos, and this would be crazy during the elections, right? So right now you see there's a lot of regulations happening around AI and content, because imagine politicians are so scared of it that, because they know you can literally create anything with it, right? So imagine you see a politician, doing something mischievous, in election season, of course, and then was a false, AI made video. So, there's inherently it's not bad or good, but of course people use it for all kind of, means and purposes. So, that should tell you that AI is going to impact our life in ways that you can't imagine. Right, it's going to impact our life in ways that you can't even fathom. So we need to at least be aware. We need to understand what the technology is about, where it's headed, and then how we can adopt it to make our lives easier. So the next item is new job opportunities. Right. So again, AI is not going to take all our jobs away. Right. That is a false thing to say. AI is not going to take all our jobs away. However, the job market is going to evolve. Right. Okay. Let me even say this. Right. Say, for example, I know Kotabika would agree with this. Say, for example, in an organization, right, that adopts AI, they say it's surge in revenue, right? They say surge in revenue. Oh God, I think it's my headphone though. Sorry, I'm trying to speak as loud as I can, but let me just increase the picture. So like hypothetically, right? Just imagine there's an organization that uses AI. Right. Okay, I need to adjust my microphone. Okay, let me check. Okay, is this better?
It's far better. It's far better, Damilare.
So is this better? Oh, great. Thank you. It was my
Yes.
headphone all along. I'm so sorry. I apologize. It was my headphone. Can you imagine? And that's a high quality headphone. But I apologize. I sincerely apologize. Do I have to recap everything I said before? Don't worry. I'll raise for me at the end so that we don't miss anything. So I was painting a picture of, just imagine an organization that adopts AI and then the revenue grows. Do you think they are going to fire their staff or let their staff go? Or they would expand the businesses to other regions, which makes it necessary to even hire more people? So just look at that scenario, for example. So, the truth is that AI is not going to come for all our jobs, but jobs that are easily, automated will probably be automated, and then people will be able to focus on high quality tasks. So, for example, if all you do, at work is just research, right? You might need to, find ways to contribute more meaningful, value to your organization. If all you do at your job is just to carry paper around, okay, what happens when your company, implement a cloud solution, that makes file sharing seamlessly, between within the office, right? So just imagine all these things. Like if your job is centered around the basic, easily automated task, then you need to start, rethinking how to upskill and get better, and then do something more valuable and something more valuable to your organization. So, right. So new job opportunities, right? What AI is going to do is AI is going to introduce more job opportunities. Just like the internet did. I'm sure 20 years ago, there was no job description such as YouTube video creator or social media influencer. 20 years ago, they don't exist. Even 15 years ago. But today we have, but today we have all of those. We have people that their full-time job is to create content on YouTube. Their full-time job is to, influence social media audiences, is to create content. So it's going to bring up an entirely new wave of job opportunities for people that are smart and able to take advantage of it, right? AI enhanced roles, right? Look at me now. Just 2 years ago, I was talking about, transformation, how businesses need to adopt technology to improve their process. Now I'm talking about how businesses need to adopt AI as a technology. So it's going to increase our value offerings. AI is going to massively increase how we offer value, how we serve customers, how we do business. And you should be aware. You should be. In fact, that is why this program that Coach Abike, brought on is super important, because there's so much going on that you need to hop on the train. And it's not too late. Trust me, the ship hasn't sailed yet. You can still get to the dock and get a seat and, participate in what is going on, right? Emerging fields, right? There's going to be a lot of, there's going to be so much, new opportunities created. For example, there's going to be AI, experts across various categories. Right now, there are AI policy advisors all over the world that governments are looking for to hire to help them shape the policy. There are AI product managers, AI. There's going to be a lot of, opportunities and new roles opening up, right? And because it's going to be new, it means it's going to pay better, right? So you need to be looking at, for those opportunities. So as AI evolves, it's going to come with a lot of more opportunities, right? Next slide, please, Vivian. So, we're still talking about AI and the future of work, please. So don't forget that. So technical skills, right? What you need to do to be ready for AI and the future of work, right? You need to understand the basics, right? You need to understand the basics. That's important. You can't be professional and not understand the basics of AI, right? You need to understand the basics. In fact, I'm beginning to predict that in the coming years, as we were, the time when, when recruiters will tell you on your CV, MS skills are required, like Microsoft skills are required, that you can use Word, Excel, and all those things. I think it's going to evolve to include that, are you AI savvy, right? Can you be a prompt engineer? In fact, that there are people that generate prompts for a living, right? They tell you how to use AI, and they are paid in multiple figures. So there's going to be so much more, value. So I like to think of AI as expanding our opportunities and, expanding the value that we're able to offer, right? So there's going to be a lot of, innovations come up. There's going to be a lot of opportunities that we should be, and for Africa, and I must say this with all respect and all sincerity and all, I mean, like all, in all sincerity, like Africa at this point, we have a chance to leapfrog. And a lot of our young people need to take advantage of this to be able to change their fortune, right? We are known to the rest of the world as a poor continent, but at the same time, we're also known as the creative, the young, and the innovative continent. Can you imagine that? Imagine, like on the same spectrum, you have poor continent, and then you have young, innovative continent, creative continent. We have everything. We have the skills. We have, exactly what the paradox. We have the skills. We have the population. We have the ideas, and I'm predicting that with AI, we can actually, leapfrog into this. Right now, with AI, you can produce music, you can do a lot of things. So imagine young people, figuring out ways to build faster. Right now, you can deploy your websites in 5 minutes or 3 minutes with AI. That's insane. Before, we used to take months and weeks to build websites for clients. Now we can do it in 5-10 minutes. That's crazy. Do you imagine how much opportunity, like how much value that is able to bring to people who can tap into that? So there's so much value that we can harness, right? So we need to be Africans, young people in Africa needs to be at the forefront at the forefront of this. When the host was introducing me, she mentioned something about my passion for Africa. The truth is that I love Africa way too much, that even if I travel many times a year, I still love to be back here, because I feel like the rest of the world look at us and they're like, okay, what are these guys doing? Because they have everything and still they have nothing. It's insane. So there's so much that we need to do. Our young people every day, we need to find a way to engage them. And I'm saying this, I know this is a digression, but please permit it. We need to invest in getting young people to see how much they can do with this technology, not just scam people or just do, mischievous things. We need to be known for leading, the frontier of innovation in this. And then the good thing is we don't even have to reinvent the wheel. We don't have to start designing our own AI programs. All we need to do is find the existing platform and then use them, for our good causes. So please, I'm begging you and everybody, beg them to. There's AI for everything that you want to do. There's an AI for it. Actually, there's a website called there's an AI for that. It's such a gold mine. So if you can check it out later, but please, there's an AI for everything that you can imagine you want to do. So let's engage it. Let's wrap this up, Vivian, so we can take questions. I mean, we're going to take questions at the end of this, right? So I'll know whether we're rushing or not. Creating a personal AI strategy. So as AI is rapidly evolving, right? You need to know what to do with it. I mean, you shouldn't just know, oh, there's something called AI, and then move on and, about your life. No, you should know exactly what to do with it. Imagine somebody gives you a gun and you never seen a gun before, and you don't know what to do with the gun. And then you're just like, okay, let me test. You just keep doing whatever with it. I mean, it can be dangerous, right? So you need to know exactly what to do with AI. You need to know how it's going to shape your life. You need to know how it's going to affect your life. So because we discussed this in detail the last time, I wouldn't be sharing too much on it. I'll just touch on the basics and then you can help yourself to it later. But you need an AI. You need an AI strategy, because trust me, I don't want to start listing the fears or the challenges, for you to make you get serious. But trust me, you need an AI strategy. You need to be able to know how to use AI as a personal tool in your personal life, in your family, in your work, to change the world, as it were. So you need an AI strategy. Vivian, let's move forward, please. You need an AI strategy, and here is how to get one done. As I've been repeating throughout this webinar, the first thing is you need to understand the basics, right? You don't have to, you don't have to be a machine learning engineer or a data scientist. You can be the data scientist, but that's one of the most, that's going to be one of the most lucrative, careers out there now. By the way, I'm just saying that. So, you need to understand the basics, right? And then you need to understand how they work and how they can be applied to your current, even beyond the current, like you just need to understand what the capabilities are and what can be done with it, right? I like to paint the picture of, like we're all, soldiers, like on the battleground. And then they invented this thing called the gun, and we don't know what it is, but we are all holding our knives and spears and hooks and fishing, whatever. We are all holding various weapons, locally fashioned. And then there's and then somebody invents a weapon called a gun that you hear that, oh, this thing can actually change how we do battle, how we fight, how we attack our enemies. But you do not care, right? That's how people who hear about AI and then don't. I mean, that's how they are, because you have this tool in front of you that can literally shape your life and affect how you do everything. But you need to pay attention. Like, you need to understand the basics, understand how it works. You need to understand what can be done with it. You should also master how AI can solve specific problems in your current work. So I believe that everyone today work in some organization or the other. Everyone, I mean, there's about 100 of us here, right? You all work in different spaces, and I can tell you for free, if everyone here asks me now, oh, what can AI do in my industry? There's at least 10 answers. There's several answers, right? So there's literally an AI for every process you can imagine on earth today. So, you need to gain an understanding of how this, like, you need to learn and master the basics of how it's going to work in your space, in your, especially if you're a career person, right? You need to understand, how AI is going to transform your industry. You need to understand, even if you're a business person, right? You need to understand how AI is going to shape your business. So you need to know. That is the basic level. You need to understand what to do. So when you get home today, go craft a personal AI strategy, write down, I think last time we looked at how to exactly do that. We talked about, but it's pretty simple, right? So I don't repeat myself from the other time, but just imagine not imagine and then research how AI would transform your current industry and career trajectory in the next maybe 5 years, 3 years, 10 years, and start preparing now. You need to acquire more skills, what tools you need to get savvy with. You need to be able to do that, right? Let's go to the next, before the final slide so that we can wrap up, please. Yeah, so there's no time. Let's have this up for 5 minutes, please. Also, you need to experiment with AI in everyday tasks, right? You want to send emails. There's an AI that makes your emails better, cleaner, more professional. Find it, use it. That's it. You're using AI. You want to apply for jobs, right? Use an AI, resume, fixer to tailor your resume to the job. You're using AI. It's not cheating. It's how the world works now, right? Get on it, right? You're doing research for some projects. Use an AI tool to improve your research and make it faster, right? Whatever you can imagine, right? There's something that you can do with AI in your everyday task, and that's how you use it. Like AI is that simple, right? You don't have to think of AI as this big imaginary, robot working. No. That's why it's a simple technology that you can adopt in your everyday work. So when you start doing that, you're building yourself to become more AI savvy, and that's an important skill today. So experiment with AI. Use AI for all kind of things. Use AI for everything you can. Just just think around. Get your hands involved. Use it at work. Use it at home. In fact, you can even teach your kids. Of course, closely monitored. In a very, very closely monitored way, right? Teach your kids how to use AI to do some basic things. Maybe to help them solve math. Show them how. There's an AI math tool that shows people how to. It doesn't just give you the answer to a math problem. Like, it shows you how to solve it step by step. So, for example, if you want to solve, like, it shows you the basic. Like the very simple step by step to solve a math. So imagine, show your kids those kind of tools. It will help them learn better. Or even language, AI, right? There's so many AIs that will help you learn languages faster. Imagine if your kids can speak like 6 languages, before they are 10 years old. That would be phenomenal, and that would really unlock the rest of the world to them. So you need to be able to think of how you can use AI in everyday tasks, right, to help you. The last slide, please, Vivian. Let's wrap this up. Finally, I'm sure Coach Abike mentioned this earlier, but I need to reemphasize it. You need to upskill. Now, I've also, from working with people, I've learned that when we say things like upskill, people think, oh, go and get a master's degree, or go and get a PhD. No, far from that. Far from that. You can upskill, in a simple way, such as if I mean, that could mean reading an article every night, or listening to a podcast, or getting a certification, just taking a course. You don't necessarily have to go back to school. So it's not the big things, actually, it's the little things that count, because the little things shapes you and forms you, to becoming a more valuable person. So you need to take upskilling seriously, right? Go to workshops, attend conferences like this one, right? I mean, go to conferences, attend events. By the way, I have an AI event coming up next weekend in Lagos, but it's sad. It's very, very sad that seats are filled up. I don't know why we didn't think about this webinar. And I'm so sorry about that. Wow, you actually should attend. Some of you at least should attend, because it's going to be a super valuable event. So I think I'll share the, what do you call it now? The event flyer with Vivian, so she can also share, because it's super, super important, and it would be a shame that people here will not be able to benefit. I'll feel so terrible about that. So I'm sharing the flyer now with Vivian, so that she can maybe share with us after my session. I mean, because we're literally done. But please do all you can. I mean, this training by Coach Tracy is an important platform to to begin that, right? Attend workshops, learn, take classes, read blogs and articles. Take whatever knowledge platform you can. Watch YouTube videos. Just make sure that you are aware and you are currently learning and continually improving yourself to become more AI savvy. And I hope that with these few points of mine, I've been able to convince you on 3 core ideas, right? I mean, the first is that there are AI myths and there are facts, right? AI is not going to take all our jobs. AI is not just for big companies. AI is for everyone. And then secondly, AI is going to transform how we work. It's going to create new job opportunities and new, industries for us to create more value. And then finally, create a personal AI strategy. It's going to help you. It's going to set you apart. It's going to change the trajectory of your career in your life. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. I would take a break here. Thank you so much, our host. I saw your message. So are there questions?
Thank you, Damilare. Thank you so much. Thank you. It's always a pleasure listening to you.
And Vivian, could you please share the event flyer later so that people can, so we can maybe save them a seat if we can. I think, Coach Abike, I think we can maybe save 5 seats for people that are coming from here, because we actually sold out all the seats at this point. Oh, it's a free event, by the way, but we have we have a small room to take people. So maybe just 4 people from this room, because we have about 100 people here. So maybe 4 people can attend. We can squeeze a space to reserve a space to them. So maybe Coach Abike and our team would see to that. But it would be great to see you all there. Okay.
Oh,
so
great.
Where's our host though?
I'm right here. I'm right here. Thank you, Damilare. Thank you. I'm so pleased that we'll be able to get a slot or some slots for those of us who are residents in Lagos. I think it will be a fastest fingers thing. I don't know, Vivian, we'll see how we'll play around with the six slots that we've been able to get. Okay, so but one thing I would say is that you should participate and get involved, because I'm pretty sure that whatever we come up with, that will be the measure. Thank you so much, Damilare. It's always a pleasure listening to you. You truly have a way of making the abstract take a life of its own, as in, and just make these things, look so real, look so useful, look so applicable. Just remove all the fuss and buzz around it and make it as simple as possible. Thank you very much. Just a quick mention. Our question and answer session will be coming up after our second presentation today. So we would crave your indulgence to be on hand to be able to take some of the questions that might come up based on what you shared with us today, and or other related questions, like the Africa thing that we subtly delved into. I mean, this is a learning platform. Okay, so our next speaker is another entrepreneur per excellence, right? And he has mined and is still in the business of mining gold from applying technology in solving life problems. And his name is Engineer Debo Unifade. Okay, so Deba, right, is the CEO of Dillon Apps. This is a global outsourcing and software company which has its headquarters in Boston, United States, as well as Lagos, Nigeria. Okay, so Dillon Apps provides a wide range of services, and this includes tech, recruitment, upskilling, and outsourcing. And also 24/7 call center um, with some tele-sales services. He's also adept at HR and payroll software, as well as the use of virtual assistants, providing virtual assistance to clients worldwide. Debo holds a master's degree in engineering management from Tufts University, United States, and a bachelor's degree in electrical engineering from the University of Ibadan, Nigeria. He's a senior member of the IEEE, an experienced and certified software engineering and digital product leader. He's a member of the Nigerian Society of Engineers and a registered electrical engineer. Okay, so here is another passion of Debo's. He's the author of Liberating Nigeria, and this book is a guide to winning elections and reviving our country, with a foreword by Femi Falana, the senior advocate of Nigeria, I beg your pardon. He has published several essays and articles in national newspapers and regularly appears on national TV platforms to discuss the economy, technology, and policies. Okay, so with a resounding welcome that we are known for on this platform, I would like you to welcome Debo as he shares his views on AI and the workforce. So the next voice you'll be listening to in 3, 2, 1 seconds should be Debo's. Hi, Debo.
Hi,
Are you
thank
there?
you so much. Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you. You look just like your profile picture. No surprises there.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much. Good evening, everybody.
No AI hanky-panky there. It's what you see is what you get. It's our pleasure to have you here with us. Our audience are super ready, and I am excited to pass the mic on to you. Okay, so I'll go off now so you can take over.
Thank you. Am I going to share myself, or Vivian, are you also sharing? What is the plan?
Okay, we have your slides. If you would prefer, Vivian can share it.
Yeah, I can share myself. I can share myself. It's just fine. So, good afternoon, everyone. I've listened a little bit to the last speaker. I think he has addressed some of the important points I would have liked to talk about. But I'd like to start with, if the organizers don't mind, I would like to start with just a few questions. Can anybody tell me what AI tools you guys have been used to in recent times? Anybody just tell me what tool and what you have been using the tool to accomplish among the audience. Are people allowed to talk? Yeah. Just jump in.
Okay, they can chat.
Okay, they can chat. Oh, okay, cool.
Yes. So there are a couple of responses in the chat section already.
Okay, so I'm saying so event. Okay, I haven't seen. No. Okay. So I see.
We have
read it out. Yes,
grammar for presentation.
Gemini.
Grammar for presentation. I see. Meet John. Can you tell me what you use this for? What do you use the tool for? ChatGPT for research? Just tell me your current personal application. So Canvas for what? Designs. Gemini. Okay, Canvas for PowerPoint. Okay, cool. Daily Pod, Gemini to be for pretty much anything. Okay, can you be more specific? Crafting CV and cover letter. Good. Canvas for design. Canvas for video editing. Canvas for video editing. How do you use that? How do you do that? How do you edit with Canvas? Tell us more about that. MRI and detecting tumors. Okay, yes. AI tools and featured Canvas. Tell me, the person that is using Canvas for video editing, can you tell us a little bit more about that? How do you edit? Will you edit your video? Tell us exactly what that does for you. Generating images, okay. Yeah, tell us what I see. Cubo, tell us exactly what you use it for. You know, each tool can do maybe 20, 30 things. What do you use your tool for? Unmute to speak to, okay. You guys, you can unmute. Vivian is saying you can unmute yourself if you want to speak. I'm still curious. Canvas, you're using it to edit video. Tell us how you do that. To be good, 2 or 3 people can say something and we can talk about it. Who else? ChatGPT to write letters. Okay, who else? Okay, 4 people. Okay, just okay.
so
I think that's all right. Nobody else. Anybody wants to say something? Can you tell us how you use the Canva? Do you use it? How do you use it to edit video? Can you say something? The person is what's her name again?
Okay, so what it does for us is it helps once we push the video into Canva, it automatically helps us to put it into frames. It helps to put into timelines, and then it also is assisting with teleprompt and transcribing. So we don't have to go through trying to put in the transcriptions individually. It just automatically generates that for us, and then it helps with a lot of transition. So what you would normally do with your Adobe Premiere that takes you 2 to 3 days, you just get it done on Canva in a couple of hours, and we are good to go.
That's good. That's wonderful. Okay, so let me try to share my screen, and then that's actually good. So the beauty of AI is you'll be surprised that so many people would use it to do different things. And that's why I wanted us to talk about what exactly you use it for. ChatGPT, a lot of people use ChatGPT for different things. And so this is great that the audience here is well informed. I'll just talk about a few things and then I'll narrow down to my submission about AI's influence on the workforce or job. Another quick question before we move on. Well, you guys can, I like people to talk anyway, is to tell me about, have you seen specific risks of job losses in your company? I mean, have you seen from your utilization of AI tools right now, do you already know 2, 3 jobs that will likely go away soon in your company? Let me read again, but it'd be good if I probably, Vivian, do you want to help me share screen there so I can read their messages better?
Okay, that's fine. I'll do that.
Okay, good. Okay, so no, that's fine. I think I can see the notes here. Okay, it's popping up. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm not seeing any notes yet. Okay, I don't see job loss. Okay, so that's fine. I think it's okay, Vivian. I think I can see their notes. No, I don't see job losses, rather job improvement. Anybody else? You haven't seen any job loss? Are you sure? Nobody? Is there anybody here that has seen a potential job loss? Anybody? I've only seen one. So I've only seen one comment. He says,
well, hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, I think one potential job loss that I've seen that could occur real soon is customer service representatives.
How do you mean? How do you mean?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of questions that you would normally call a customer service rep to help you answer, with AI tools, you really get those answers that more convenient.
Like what? I want you to be specific. Tell me that AI tool and tell us, how it eliminates that job.
Okay, like for example, let me say Gemini. Gemini is my go-to because that's Google's solution to AI. And in a case where maybe I want to order a product, I'm not sure how to go about it on an e-commerce website. Normally, maybe I'll have to call the representative of that website, ask them, okay, please, how can I do this? How can I do that? But now with a simple chat, I'll probably get the answers I want. And it's just more convenient as opposed to maybe calling a customer service line and waiting for, sometimes they'll tell you that the customer service people are busy. And then at the end of the day, you might even get the person doesn't really even understand the context they are trying to talk, they are trying to come from, and so many things. So I feel that's one area in which I see AI taking over jobs in the near future.
So does anybody disagree with that? So I see the bank app. I don't think I agree with that. AI, you don't need to use AI actually right now to move money, to transfer money. So the typical apps are good for that. You don't need an AI for that. Robots taking over bank tellers, not anytime soon, no. I want to talk about what he said. I forgot your name. Does anybody disagree with him? I want us to be specific. Does anybody disagree with him? Does anybody, or do we all agree with him? Like, I don't agree with this. Okay, his name is Mordecai. Oh, that's a great name. I don't agree with the bank person. I think bank transfers are already happening with apps, not AI. I also don't think robots will do that job anytime soon yet. I don't fully agree that we've had I don't know. I want to hear from people's experience. From my own experience, AI still doesn't solve my problem. When I'm chatting with GoDaddy, when I have problems with our web apps, it still never solves my problem. It can authenticate, but 9 out of 10 times, it never solves my problem. I still always demand to speak with a human being. Does anybody agree with that? Anybody disagree with that? I'm curious to know Mordecai's specific example. I like you guys to be specific when you're telling me, just tell us exactly. So I'm giving you this example. GoDaddy is a hosting company. When we have problems with them, maybe our app or a hosting service is down, AI never helps us. We always talk to a human being. So yeah, but it can help with authentication. So that's good. Anybody else? You may soon able to tell AI to transfer money and it will, recognize your voice. Okay, that's a good one. That's a good one. Ola is saying that he or she believes that AI might be able to transfer money for you in future rather than doing by yourself. I think I agree with that. And it will have to recognize your voice. That's risky though. Well, if we can authenticate with the voice, that would be good. But that's good. I agree with that. Yeah. And anybody else? Anybody else wants to say something? An example? Anybody else? Is anybody here that believes that AI will not result into net job losses? AI is quite adept at research. It pulls large sets of data in little to no. Yeah, that's okay. I want us to be practical in our examples. We've listened to an intro to AI. I want us to discuss, and I'll tell you my view eventually, but I want us to discuss. Tell me specifics. Yes, I agree with that. Like using the box pension company can only resolve the selector. Yeah. Issues. Yeah. So it's true. AIs are not solving that problems. You're checking.
Okay, a very specific example.
Yeah, go
Sorry
ahead.
to cut you short.
Sure.
Yeah, so there are these jobs that most people do, remote jobs, where maybe there are students who are running a master's program, they've been given assignments, but then they're also running other jobs, so they don't really have time. So they outsource those assignments to people in countries like Nigeria, India, and the like. And, because of the volume of the assignments and the work it takes, AI really helps to streamline that process. It makes it very fast. Like you can use AI to get those assignments done with the citations. You can use AI tools to reduce the what's the word I'm looking for now?
So you're saying that rather than hire Nigerians, maybe 3 Nigerians to do the assignments, with AI, they may be able to do it by themselves.
No, I'm saying the Nigerians now, instead of the effort you would use now, you that you are taking
No,
on a project.
I'm focused on job losses here. So how does that relate to loss? Are you saying that because the job loss will mean the guy in the UK will not hire Nigerians again? Or are you saying it
Okay,
will
yeah.
help? So what you're
Yes,
saying
the
is
number
it
of people it will take to do that has reduced
reduce. Okay, so that's
dramatically.
a
Yes,
potential
sir.
job loss. Okay, cool.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I will talk about improved productivity later. I'm just talking about job losses for now. So airport check-in automation, that doesn't require an AI. That's already automation is check-in is already automated right now in many countries. Even when you get to the what do we call being stamped in, I forgot the term, when what immigration does to receive you into the country, that's also automated now. You can just, if you have another passport, if you don't have, if you have a visa, maybe not, but if you have like a US passport, a British passport, you can just pass through an auto system and you go in without talking to a human being. So those ones are existing technologies. They don't require AI.
Okay, I think okay, in advanced countries, I hear that robots now deliver food to people in restaurants and even when you order for a product. And that has eliminated the human factor of people having to go around to do those deliveries.
Cool. Yeah, I agree with you. That is also going to happen. It's already happening. Not a lot yet. Yeah, but that's a risk. That's a big job loss risk. One more person, and then I move on to something else. One more person. One more person. Okay, I didn't even talk about my question. One more person. Okay, so let me move on a little. Have you been able to measure productivity impact on your work? Okay, let's talk about this real quick. I'll take one input each. Have you been able to measure productivity impact on your work or life? I think I know the answer. Many of you are already using it. AI, maybe you have not measured it yet. Anybody here who has measured it? Has anybody been able to measure productivity improvement? 20%, 30%, 40%? Anybody here? Have you been able to measure productivity improvement, productivity impact in percentage? Anybody? Okay, if not, I think it's a good idea to measure. We've started trying to do that in my company. Trying to measure it, track changes. If X was doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 every day before, with AI, is productivity doubled? Is productivity doubled, or is productivity just 25% higher? So it's good. What aspects of AI are you most worried about? Anybody here? Ethics, job losses, or privacy? Anybody here? Go ahead.
Please, could you put your slides on slide mode?
Okay, cool, sure. Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, good. So what aspects of AI are you most worried about? Ethics, job losses, or privacy? Quick. I need quick inputs. Oh, I need to scroll down actually. Oh, I see a lot of inputs already. Sorry. Yeah, it's still an introduction. I'm still there, yeah. If you fail to upskill others, employees that can use the tools to deliver within a short time, you will highly, okay. Slide is still, okay, go, yeah, that's fine. I know, privacy. Okay, so privacy, yeah, can somebody mention one? So you are saying, Prince is saying one, that data privacy, I see. Ethics, all of the above. Identity cloning, oh, that's actually a big risk. Okay, I'm mostly worried about ethics, actually. I think job losses, I'm going to address that. Data privacy is also important. I think the world is creating rules around data privacy issues already, but ethics, I don't know how the world is going to regulate ethics. Anybody wants to say something about that? Talk rather than type. How do you think the world can regulate ethics? I don't know. Anybody? We can regulate. I'll tell you. I'll talk about job losses, but I know we can regulate data privacy as much as possible. But how do you think we can regulate ethics?
Hello.
Go ahead. What's
Okay,
your
so
name?
my name is Abide Tunolua.
Okay, where do you work?
Well, currently I'm doing my master's in AI and data science.
Oh, nice. What
United
school?
Kingdom.
Okay.
University
Cool.
of All.
Oh, cool. Go ahead.
Yeah. So regarding about ethics, I remember I once asked this question in class, and what was said to me was, so a standard is trying to be created, just like we have IEEE, like a body of association from each country represented to properly give people the understanding of how to use AI and then the ethics behind it. So it means what that is going to happen is in some areas it will be regulated, just like in the US. AI cars like Tesla and the rest of them, they are being used, but in the UK it's not. So a body, they're trying to bring together a body of AI, should I call them AI individuals or AI tech savvy individuals, by the government and also by the people, to come together to bring forth a standard that everybody would literally benefit from, and then it will serve everybody. So that's how the ethics have been is trying to being catered for, basically.
Okay, that's good. Anybody here, anybody else wants to say something about that ethics? How do you think the world can regulate ethics in AI? I mean, I don't
So
want to
just
hear like
what
they
he
will
said.
self-regulate. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, just add what he said because he basically said what I was thinking.
Your name. You didn't
I
tell us
think
your name.
one
Tell
way.
us your
Okay,
name.
my name is Mordecai. My name
Oh,
is
Monica
Mordecai.
again. Monica, what do you
Yeah.
do? You didn't tell us before.
I'm an IT auditor at Keystone Bank.
At what?
Keystone Bank.
Keystone Bank. Oh, I see. Cool.
Yes, sir. So I feel one way in which we could mitigate the ethics problem is proper representation. There needs to be a global, like there should be a representative from like almost every school of thought on the board that regulates and decides, okay, what can AI do? How should we limit it in this sphere and stuff like that, so that it isn't one dimensional, isn't like it's because we all know that it's generated, like it works based on data that it's fed and stuff. So let it not be one dimensional. Let it give a more fair representation of what everyone is thinking. Yeah.
Okay. One lady, quick, and then we'll move on. Input from one lady. We have a little.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Hello.
Go ahead.
Hi. My name is Ngozi, and I consult for now.
On what?
I
Is it,
was going to
you
say
consult? Your consult is it? What is,
I'm an HR
okay,
consultant.
good.
I'm an HR
Good.
Yeah. Okay. So I was going to say that the ethics question is, I don't want to say a tricky one, but to me, it's going to be an ongoing conversation, because ethics, even in our natural human existence right now, our ethics have evolved over time. Once upon a time, there was no problem for a 12-year-old girl to be married. Now, everybody, if you try it, I mean, in a lot of places, it's going to be a bit of a challenge for you. So I think it's going to be an ongoing conversation, but I agree with the previous two speakers. At whatever point the conversation is going to happen, those contributing should be from as diverse a population as possible, in terms of mindset, in terms of industry, public and private. It should just be as diverse as possible, so that as many facets of the ethical dilemmas that might present itself to people in the course of using AI, and the course of AI evolving, since it's supposed to be a self-learning tool, can be addressed. We won't, even if there's a committee today of all the global leaders, they can address what's happening now. They will not be able to address what's going to happen in 2, 3, 5 years time. So I think we should commit to understand that it's going to be an ongoing conversation, and people should be alert to that. Thank you.
I fully agree with you on that. I think it will keep evolving. I fully agree with. So I just run through this quickly because I want us to engage again. I like the participation. Thank you so much. I want to do more. So I'm going to run through some of these points I just said for the purpose of having a decent presentation, but I'm not going to speak about them. I talked a little bit about the evolution of AI. Talked about the history, how it began. It was coined at Dartmouth College. Everybody uses AI right now, so nothing is new to us all. I don't want to repeat things we know. Self-driving cars, manufacturing, diagnostics, treatment, administration, personalized learning, admin, future classrooms, traffic management, logistics, issues, job challenges with AI, job displacement, privacy issues, bias and discrimination. That's also a challenge, AI can be one-sided. I give you an example. A bank small bank we worked with some time ago. One of those, I don't, yeah, they're called, in Nigeria now we have the MFBs, microfinance banks, and we also have lending organizations, or digital banks. One of them, they had an AI tool that helped them to make decisions, loan approval decisions, and of course, AI is built on data. If it observes that people in Lagos, people in Benin have not been paying back in the last 3 months, it just blocks everybody in Benin. Just, if it observes that people in Abeokuta have not been paying back in the last 2-3 months, it makes decisions over a specified period of time. And if it could be coincidental, data sometimes is not exactly accurate. It's not, that doesn't what can evolve, it makes that decision, and it can block everybody in that city for the next 2 weeks. So sometimes it can be biased, that's correct, but of course it's not a human being. The other problem with data for me is it can kill innovation, by the way. Sometimes in business, I'm a business owner. When you're about to make decisions, sometimes there are certain decisions that you make based on gut feeling. And I'm open to, we can talk about that later. Where does data come to play? You have this strong feeling as a CEO, and you have data showing something a little bit different. Sometimes you have to follow your gut feeling. I wake up, some people, they don't use that word gut feeling. They say God spoke to me, or I woke up in a dream, blah, blah, blah. The idea is we make decisions based on certain things. At what point do we jettison data? So those are also reasonable points. And I'm curious to know what people, monostory as Chinamanda would say. Yeah, equal representation or share. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, cool. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, okay. Historical context of, yeah, so let me talk about previous disruptive technologies. And I'll ask people questions. I'm sure, I don't know, there may be some people that are in their 20s here, but I guess there'll be people in their 30s and 40s here, I hope, who can answer some questions. People here knew when computer came to Nigeria. I'm sure we didn't have computers until the 90s in Nigeria. Maybe government, a little bit of high-level government in the 80s, but and anybody here who disagrees with me can talk. Feel free to jump in. And at that time, when computers came, people said, "Oh, it's going to take a lot of jobs. Oh, jobs will be lost." Can anybody here remember? Anybody here? Please type or talk.
I can. I certainly can. This is Ngozi again. I certainly can remember.
Did we lose those jobs, or jobs grew?
Jobs grew, and those who wanted to grow
we had net job growth. Of course, jobs were lost, but we had net job growth. So it's always a challenge every time. Same as internet. When we had internet, and I know what I'm talking. So I grew up. My dad was an academic, so we had a lot of encyclopedia. My dad had a big library, and I could read so many things that maybe my classmates did not have access because there was no internet. So I knew a lot of things, in high school because because of our library at home. But when internet came, internet was a leveler. It was good. It just made us all relate. We all could access anything, no privilege any longer, which I think was cool. It's it's kind of democracy for in terms of technology, like makes everybody equal. And it was good because eventually everybody had access to getting whatever some privileged people had in the past. And it created jobs for all types of people, even if it came from a background where you didn't have information. As long as you had internet, you can get information. So it's a leveler. That's the word I was looking like, and then same as computer now. At that time, everybody was paying. Everybody was paying to learn how to use computers. But and then we had computer centers all around Nigeria. But at some point, everybody could use computer. You don't need to go to school to learn how to use computer again. And I can tell you that all these things, all these disruptive technologies ultimately created net job growth. So I want to submit here that I believe AI will create net job growth. Now, jobs will be lost. I can give you a few examples. I'm in tech, and in a product manager, a product owner in technology writes user stories. We you know the client tells you what he wants to develop as a software, what the software solution, and you must be very skilled in product owner. You must have significant product owner skills to be able to document properly user stories, acceptance criteria, giving when then, some sophisticated ways of writing. But guess what? AI is solving that problem. I think AI will cause job losses to Scrum product owners. Sad. It's going to happen. Customer service, like you said, yes, it's going to happen eventually. Sad. AI will create job losses even in some healthcare, even in coding right now. AI is writing codes. If you're a software engineer and you cannot do high-level coding, you're only a junior guy, AI is getting competent enough to write codes as a junior level software engineer. So there will be job losses even in engineering, which wasn't like that before. It's easy to cut. Job losses were easy in unskilled areas in the past, but no more. Now, the other good thing about AI today is about when I say leveler too. Before, some of us here are very good at communicating. That was our strength, or that's our strength. People like us for that at work. It helps us to grow. Now, AI kills that. Now, I may be scared though that people are not going to be using their brain to write any longer. They just go to AI. That can kill your communication skills, but it will help your work because you're writing almost like that guy, the super writer. You're writing the same way as that guy all of you loved in your department, and all of you respected in your department. So there's a leveler thing there, which is great, but I think it will also kill, just like, I don't know if you're aware now that the fact that young kids are using phones to talk a lot is killing their ability to speak to each other. They don't even, in our time, we talked a lot on the phone. And for those of people who grew up maybe in their 30s or 40s, there was a lot of phone conversation. But now it's about chatting. It's about chatting. And I fear for the world, conflicts are not fixed through chatting. You need to sit down, negotiation. You have the Russian war with Ukraine. You have a lot of negotiation challenges across the world that people will have to sit down face to face to resolve. And the data is suggesting difficulty in that. In fact, even dating, I hear kids are struggling to date now. A mature guy is finding it difficult to ask a mature lady out without the phone. So those are challenges, no doubt about it. Automation can kill creativity, can kill innovation. But these are the jobs that I think that are already emerging. More data scientists are being hired, data entry clerks are being hired, data analysts will be hired, data engineers, AI specialists, AI ethicists, data actors, and many jobs that we don't know about are going to emerge. I'll be telling you a lie if I tell you that I can tell you all the jobs that will be created. When computers came, we did not know. Look at jobs like, when we were young, when I was in school, if you didn't study engineering, accounting, medicine, and co, it's supposed to mean that things are going to be difficult. If you didn't study those high professional courses, law, because the world did not even know what you could do as a history graduate other than teaching or working in maybe global headquarters of, or maybe as like the world, people could not tell you exactly. But guess what? You now have kids living in university now, they're learning digital marketing while they're in school. I met a lady recently who told me she went to private school, but she knows that she told me she can make shoes. She learned it online. So people learn a lot of skills now, irrespective of the course they studied in school, because of technology. And people are working in banks, big places right now. They studied English, Yoruba, history, but they are highly skilled in what they do. If you asked anybody 10 years ago, will these jobs be available? The answer is no. We would not know. So I can tell you right now, we don't know how many jobs will emerge in coming years, but there will be, if we judge based on history, we will experience net job growth. I hope history repeats itself. And I can count even aeroplane, every disruptive technology has created more opportunities. AI enhances, of course, AI will also enhance productivity, leading to business growth and creation of new jobs. Because AI is going to increase productivity, smart businesses will grow. And when you grow, what do? You create new jobs. If you don't allow AI to enhance productivity in your company, then you're in big trouble. And that's why I said companies need to start measuring the growth. They don't know. Companies need to start measuring productivity improvement. What percentage, revenue improvement. These things have to be measured so that it can help, make decisions. It will take over routine, repetitive tasks, that's true, but allowing humans to focus on more creative and strategic activities. I don't believe AI can be more creative than human beings. I don't believe that. I think the way God has created us, we're full of innovation. We're full of innovation as human beings. I don't believe AI can be more creative than me. And that's why I still believe more in my gut feelings as a CEO. I create new products. I can't count number of products that I've created in Nigeria in the past maybe 17 years of business. Some results in losses, of course, some successful. But as humans, we are built to create solutions to problems. And if AI can take away our routine tasks, then better opportunities for us. In conclusion, I believe that AI will not cause net job losses. And we may not be able to define impact at just like I said, I believe it will create more opportunities. Let's talk about our AI responsibilities. One is reskilling and upskilling. We have to do that. Everybody here must get better with AI utilization. Companies must invest, government must play their role. Okay, I'm watching time. I want to make sure I create time so that we can talk a little bit more. Technologies could pessimism versus optimism. Yeah, generally, it's always better to be optimistic about technology. First thing people say is, oh, we're in big trouble, but we need to think about the light. Adapting to change is mostly positive. Question, Nigeria has predominantly been an adopter rather than a developer of technologies. In the realm of AI, these are things we can do. I'll tell you my views later. Establishing a robust technology infrastructure, investing in education and skill development is crucial. Now, let me tell you what I think about this government. I was speaking with government's responsibilities, and I don't know any of you that is in government here, try to listen. And I said this too. I was speaking with a federal government official some days ago, and he asked my opinion about. So we have a minister of technology that is focused a lot on AI, and I think we're wasting time. We're wasting. We're not going to. We end up wasting money and time. The fundamentals of AI is education. We're not going to be a developer of AI. Nigeria will be an adopter. Let's be honest. We're going to be a user of AI tools. We will not create our own AI. Let's not fool ourselves. Just like China has WeChat. We have something like that in Korea. No, that everybody else uses WhatsApp. The Europeans didn't create their own. Nigerians did not create their own. There's some things we will use. You're not going to create a new ChatGPT. Nigerians, we will use ChatGPT. So we will be a user, just like many countries. So let's not fool ourselves that we're going to create our own. Of course, there will be modifications. Banks will use AI and so on. But how do we improve ourselves for the future? It's primary school, high school. If more than 70% are still failing maths and English, we're wasting our time with intervention in colleges and universities, private universities. And I don't want to speak too much about that. If you read about how the Eastern Europeans developed, how the Asians developed, go to Denmark, all those tiny countries in Europe, think of South Korea, think of the Asians. They grew their education from primary and high school. Math skills, very critical. we need to get to a point where more than half, because everybody does maths, whether you're a business student, art student, everybody does maths from primary school. We need to improve our STEM skills from the rudiments so that even if you end up finishing with arts or business, your math skills are fundamentally above average. That is more important to me. That's more important to a country's development, not my personal opinion, than trying to train 1 million AI engineers. Where are they going to work? Do we have those jobs available in Nigeria? Do we have those jobs available around the world? The answer is no, we don't. But to prepare ourselves for the future, we must go to the roots and and talk about how to fix maths in our primary schools. First, maths, get average pass rate beyond 50%. English too, of course, English and maths. And then we can start talking about high school and colleges. So when I talk about government intervention, for me, that's most important. And that's what many countries in the world did to fix education. And then you go to college. Spend all the trillions on Nigerian colleges. If the background is not fixed, I'm sure there are HR people here. You interview kids now, you see the quality of graduates that we have in Nigeria. My company hires a lot. We're more in technology, but we hire other professionals too for banks, companies around, but even the technology is our strength. And it's disappointing, but it's not the college, it's the background that needs to be fixed first. So those are my views. I'm trying to round off real quick. AI tools, customer support, everybody knows this, data analysis, insight. Okay. Okay, I think that'll be all. Everybody can read this up, and then I want to listen to people. I want us to talk before. Good. Anybody? Seasonal. Good. I want anybody questions, comments. I want to answer questions. Go ahead. I've rushed this so that we can talk. Go ahead.
My name is Abiodun. Thanks, Zeba, for this exciting and informative session. Yeah, as regards the
speak louder, please, Abiodun.
Can you hear me?
Yes, now I can.
All right. Okay. Sorry. As regards the ethics, I think for now, companies have to do self-ethics as regards using different AI, because if you don't caution, if you don't put on the governance aspects.
I'm struggling to hear you, please. I want to hear you well. Can you put your mic?
Okay, hold on. But let me go off. All right, let me go off. But someone else can speak now. Let me go off.
Yeah, I can hear you, but I want to make sure I hear you very well. It's just not very clear.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I think it's better now. Yeah. Yes.
All right. Okay. What I'm saying is, as regards this ethics, we discussed earlier on that we need to do self compliance, as in each individual or each company. For now, yes, things keep evolving and all that, but for now, what you need to do, you need to you need to make sure that, okay, if it is in recruitment, people who has the governance or who has who are professionals in that aspect, you need to set standards as regards the usage of AI in recruitment and all that, because of data loss, because of data data privacy and all that. So for ethics, that's what I'm talking about. Then as regards education also, curriculum, I don't know who we can talk to, how we can get to school, the school institution, and how to develop new curriculum for school. Imagine a student who is going through or who is studying engineering at the moment. It's just a waste for any parent who is training a child in Nigeria in engineering. I'm not lying to you. I'm not because yes, Debo, you can bear me witness about it as regards tech. All this curriculum are still being used to train people, and this is the reason people like coaches are coming up, so that people can be trained even before going into career circle. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks a lot. So anybody else? Anybody else? Any question?
Okay,
Go ahead,
Jacob,
talk. Anybody else? Go ahead.
we have about 4 questions that had been sent in before the session,
Yeah, go ahead.
which we will share between you and Dami. Okay, so you can take the ones that come up from your session now, then we would have those other ones after you're done.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, you go ahead. Tell me, do you want to read them out, or do you want me to scroll? It's not scrolling. Okay, I can scroll up now. Hold on.
Okay,
So
I'll give you one that I think you can answer, or you
yeah,
can help us
anyone
with.
you want me to answer, I can answer. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. So, what challenges do you see companies facing in trying to adopt AI technologies, and how best do you think they can overcome them? Now, secondly, because I see you are a believer in equal representation, would like to know how AI can be used to promote diversity and inclusion in the workplace.
Okay, thanks. So in terms of training, I think the first thing is the mentality of the leaders. And I'll give you an example. So my company provides, we do IT upskilling for the banks, and we did for a bank recently. And from the top, there was a suggestion that, hey, because we train developers and, software and different, and from the top, somebody suggested, hey, you guys should add AI. And we found a way to teach machine learning. We introduced AI, even though the application was vague at that time, because we trained specifically, to meet needs, back end, front end. But we were able to introduce that because there was somebody from the top that was interested. And we taught machine learning, we taught the engineers AI, and the bank is trying to introduce AI in their applications. Of course, without good data, AI suffers. So in Nigeria, I'm sure everybody knows that. I say this everywhere. Our biggest problem is data, our biggest problem is data acquisition, not AI application. We don't have data. So in the absence of that, the bank will still struggle. The bank developers will struggle because of data availability. But the fact was there was motivation from the top, and the knowledge was impacted, and they now need to find data to use it. So the first thing is there should be motivation from management. And I think trainings like this, we need to make sure there are some representations from some senior people to understand why this is essential. It's no longer nice to have, it's essential. So that's the first thing. Second is, even when your senior people are not showing interest, I think mid-level managers should do their best to make good representations, explain to the top people why AI is critical. You will not be able to compete well if you don't use AI in your organization. So that's what I think. That's the role of the mid-level people. Of course, it must start from the top, but if the top doesn't want it or is not keen, then the mid-level guys need to push. In terms of diversity, I think the first thing is AI has created almost a level playing ground, a level playing field for everybody, men and women. And I think, women have to take advantage of it, same as men. I think AI is going to help diversity, no doubt about it. In terms of knowledge, if I've always believed, and just like in my own case, I used to have a company that we had a lot of men. Nowadays, I have a lot of women. Sometimes I have as many as 80% of my management team as ladies. Every time we try to balance it, get new guys, you bring a guy and a girl to an interview, the girl does better. At the end of the meeting, we're like, we cannot sacrifice diversity we cannot sacrifice competence for diversity. So we have more women than men. But as long as both people have the same knowledge opportunity through AI, I think it will bring about better equality to the game. That's my view on that. So AI is already doing it. Yeah. Any other points from anybody or question? And I hope this answers, whoever asked those questions, I hope this answers your question. If you can do a follow-up, if this doesn't, let me scroll down. See if there's any other thing I can see. Do you all agree with me that, awesome. Do you guys all agree with me? Yeah. Do you guys agree with me that AI will create net job? Anybody here still disagrees with that? Is there anybody that still thinks, Debo, I still they fail. This thing will create job loss. Anybody here? Anybody here still feels? I'm in the middle. Modukwe. So yeah, Modukwe, I share your views. Yes, jobs will be lost, but just like I said, we already know some jobs that will be created, but new jobs will come. You know, I'm sure that's the way the world has been. New jobs will come in the next few years. Jobs that I don't know right now. Modukwe doesn't know. All of us don't know about. We know about a few, but more jobs will evolve that we don't know anything about right now. And that's how it has been. And that's why I gave you some historical perspective. And that's why I'm optimistic. Okay, anybody? Jobs will be lost, skills will be gained, correct? But yeah, but more jobs will be created. I think that's the key thing. And again, remember too, the more productive, there'll be more solutions. Like even in my company right now, the time it takes us to create new solutions is now shorter. Like we used to creating, whether it's a new app or a new solution, if it would normally take us 6 months, it's now taking us half of that time to create new products. And you know what that means? It creates opportunity for growth. And when a company grows, you hire more people. You understand? So productivity improvement is also going to be a good factor. If it helps our economy in Nigeria, it will create jobs. Anything that improves productivity will ultimately create jobs. Okay. I think one more question. I think my time is up already. I want to make sure I keep the time. Any other question, and I'm willing to answer. And if you have any question you want to ask me later, I'm open to responding. I can share my email address. But thanks for the opportunity. I'm happy that I've been able to add some value. I hope you guys learned something, and I hope I've been able to encourage a number of people that AI is going to be there to help you. It's not going to take your job away. And if it takes this current job, you will get a bigger job. So you just need to learn new skills. You just need to get ready, be prepared. You might lose your current job, but if you're well prepared, you will get a bigger job, or you get a higher paying job.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much, Debor. As in, I think I speak for all when I say this has been a very invigorating session. I mean, what? You took us on a journey from where we started to where we are and where we need to be. Well, I'm not in the middle. I will confess I am a believer, and I choose to bank on AI creating more jobs than jobs will be lost to AI. And thank you. You've been very convincing and very engaging. We appreciate you for honoring our invite, and we look forward to you honoring more invites from us in the future. Thank you so much, Debo.
Thank you so much. Thanks a lot.
All right. Okay, I don't know if Dami is still in the house. Dami, if you're in the house, could you unmute your mic and say hi? Dami Larry. Okay.
Oh, yes. Hello. Hello, everyone. Good evening.
Okay. Hi. Dami, there's this question that I have that I think you would provide quite an answer to. Right, I'm still reeling from your presentation on the reality that is AI. Would like to know, because, okay, just to give some context, I think the world, it's happening really fast, and I've seen some AI being applied in roles like teaching assistants. So usually, like when you get to your primary school or secondary school, you have the teachers and you have assistants. Now we have robot assistants who sit in the class, assimilate the lessons, and provide individual support to the students. So that is one job that is most likely going to be affected by AI. I would like to hear from you. What other jobs do you think would most likely be affected by AI, and which ones do you think would be resistant to automation?
Okay, that's a great question actually. And but to be fair, I want to start by saying that the case that you shared with us right now about the teaching assistants, I mean the AI, assistant to help the students learn better. For example, that particular context, right, should not be people's job. If anything, it should make the students, or it should help the students learn better, and which would then, help the teachers focus on even more high value, task of, teaching better and, offering hands-on support and all that. But because people can be, different in many ways, the owners of the school might decide to let some staff go because, in quotes, they have an AI that, does their work. So, but yeah, I mean, people would always have reasons to do whatever they really want to do. We should not forget that. So when we talk about the AI and human job loss thing, there's a clause that we almost forget, and it's that humans are building these things and their intentions are entirely their own, right? I told someone that if the big 5 companies, I mean, I'm talking about the FANG, Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Microsoft, and what's the last one? And NVIDIA now, right? If they decide to build, AI, platforms or, like AI tools that automate half of their workforce, they probably would have done that if they can. They have the capabilities to do that, right? Especially the ones that requires less human interaction. But by regulation and by law, some of them are restricted to keep a certain quota of their workforce human. In fact, it's not some sort of open regulation yet, but it's one of the things that they have to do. So maybe it might get to that point where government now introduces this regulation and say, oh, as an organization, you have to have a quota of your staff. I mean, they must be humans. I don't think that's pretty extreme, but if it happens that we do get there, I mean, but the truth is that there will always be jobs for humans, right? Especially jobs that require, some sort of high emotional intelligence, right? Jobs that require high EQ. I mean, for example, in my last presentation, I talked about, jobs like counseling, jobs like ministry, pastors, teachers, all kinds of jobs that require high depth of emotional, intelligence to deal with humans, human interaction jobs. In fact, the funny thing is recent research, by a body that researches AI in Africa, uncovered that even in the lowest hanging fruit for automation, which is the customer service automation, where we have AI chatbots and all those, that the result shows that customers still feel more satisfied when humans attend to them compared to, just robots and chatbots. So can you imagine that, even as easy as it is to automate, the customer experience engagement, side of things, people still get more satisfaction, relating with a human being. So that should tell you that businesses that are forward thinking, that are customer centric, would rather have maybe more human customer support staff, or they would like to have a blended customer support system that blends both AI and humans. So there's so much nuance to this, but I just want to say that so we can wrap up and maybe take another question I have available. I just want to say that when we talk about job loss and AI, the truth is the easiest jobs to automate would go first. Let's not mince words about that. The easiest jobs to automate, I like to say that as long as your job follows certain principles that requires little or no ingenuity, as long as the job is such that any person can be trained. Okay, these are the steps. Do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you get 6, 7, 8. As long as the job can be, as long as anyone can be trained to do your job in that sense, trust me, it's going to be easy to automate that. But the more intuition you need, the more creativity you need, the more human ingenuity you need to do your job, the less easier it will be to automate it. That's it. That is what I think about jobs and automation. That was a long answer. My apologies. I like to really, really in depth. Yes.
Yes, but it was long, but it achieved the purpose, so it's fine. Thank you. Thank you so much, Danny. All right.
Yes.
I'm afraid we really don't have much time for more questions because we need to wrap this up quickly and still take our group photograph. We must take that group photograph today. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's a wrap. Our special appreciation goes to our 2 facilitators, Dami, Larry, and Debor. Together, we've debunked myths, explored possibilities with AI, charted sensitive issues surrounding AI, like ethical dilemmas and the rest. For our audience, I hope you've been able to add several things to your knowledge bank. I know I have. However, I'd like you to remember that knowledge is only power when you use it. So when you think AI, remember to use AI. Don't forget, we'll be meeting same time next week for the second part of this discussion that has been passionately packaged and brought to you from the stables of Coach Wesley. Special shout out to her and to the amazing Vivian. She is the force behind the scenes, and we will get the rare privilege of having her show her face on the scene when we're taking our photograph. We appreciate you for all you do. So it's time for me to have some partners on this stage. I shouldn't be a Lone Ranger anymore. Please enable your cameras and join me on this virtual stage so that we can take our picture as a memoir of this very beautiful evening. All right, so who's going to bell the cat first? Remember, we have 6 slots up from Damilare to his seminar happening next week. And like we said, we're going to share invites. So you don't know the criteria yet. We don't know the criteria yet, but this is an incentive. Please turn on your cameras wherever you are so that we can start. Hey, beautiful. Oh, my days. Oh, that's Vivian. That's Vivian, for the avoidance of doubt. That's the amazing Vivian. Hi, Odabumi. Hey, hi. Hi, Tolulope, Omolola, Ademola, Coach Wesley. Come on. Okay, so we have a lot more. We have over 100 participants. I must thank you all. As in, we did it to Zoom today. So I expect to see more faces on this screen. I expect to see more faces on this screen. Please turn it up, turn it up, turn it up. All right. Okay. Have we been able to capture our picture? We can take several. Come on, some more, some more, some more. It would be nice to have our facilitators join in too. All right. All right. Oh, beautiful. Thank you so very much for spending the evening with us. Thank you, Ngozi. Thank you, Mordecai. Thank you, Excel. Thank you, the Prince. Thank you, Ola. Thank you, Shegun. Thank you, Omolala. It's been beautiful. It's been amazing. It's been wonderful. Let's do this again. Same time next week. Same time next week. So if you've been blessed, you've had a great time, don't forget to spread the word. Vivian will be sharing details of our FYC community, the Future Proof Your Career community. If you want to have more details as to webinars or seminars that we have, you know, that's the easiest place to get that information firsthand. So she'll be sharing joining details as well. Also, we would also discuss on that platform the criteria for deciding who's going to get the tickets to join Dami's program next week. So make sure to tune in and join. Oh, Mordecai, great to see your face. Thank you for joining in. Oh, great. Okay. I see a Soji. Is that our Soji?
Yeah, Soji is
that
there.
Oh, like that behavior. I gave you the composed version for this moderation, but usually I'm not this well behaved.
Your true color is already showing.
For long. All right. I'm always excited to see faces. Mark Plan, good to see you. Blessing, great to see you. Okay. More faces. It's been a beautiful session indeed. All right. Okay. Yeah, the link has been shared in the chat section. Thank you all so very much. Flo, good to see you. Great. Awesome. Amazing. All right. Great to see you all. Okay, so it's bye from this side of the divide. It's time for me to put on my other hat, you know, go handle some home affairs. Catch up with you guys next.
Thank you, Ezzy.
Catch up with you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.
Wow.